Hi guys, this is Robert Rivera with Trend Trading Academy, and this is the weekly recap, the time of the week where I review the trades of the week, and we got some pretty interesting ones. So let's go into it. I also give a projection to what we can see next week. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Let me see. I got to share a screen. Let's go ahead and share this screen. All right, and let's go at it. Okay, so this is the first trade of the week. This was a nice trade on GBP USD. We see it nicely consolidating here. We've seen what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 1-hour candles that are stuck within these two prices and pretty clean to be seen. So we're looking for the breakout to the top or to the bottom. It doesn't really matter. We do remember, by the way, guys, that there's a trend line that's coming up here from the top that is like what, since 2014. And it tried to break it once already. I think this time it's going to try to break it again, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. There we go. There's the results. Sure enough, it broke to the top side. And I think actually this is like the very top of the edge of that trend line now. But it broke to the upside. It broke, it retested nicely right there and took off 156 pips. Actually, it says no retest. I guess it's no retest because this candle did not close outside of the yellow line. This would have worked for me. For those of you who know my hybrid retest, that's a hybrid retest for me right there, where it breaks out of the breakout line and then comes down to retest it. This third candle right here, this wicked up, this third candle right here is the buy signal. Okay, there's no question that's a buy signal. That's strong. Whether it goes up only 30 pips or it goes up for 150 pips, that's a very strong buy signal there. Perhaps the out would have been for me to take the 200 moving average right there and get out. In fact, you can see how it stopped right there for a moment and then it proceeded to go up and then it came back down to it. Perhaps retesting it to go back up or to drop. We'll see what happened in the following day, but that was the 28th. And then on the 29th, this was an interesting setup. So this is after it went all the way up there, right? It's coming consolidating up here. This was beautiful. This was very pretty. This is very clean, but we had no breakout on this one. We had no breakout whatsoever. Kind of blew my mind that as clean as it was. Well, actually, it broke this trend line from right here, I think, and it dropped. So after it poked its head out for just a little bit, it broke, and that would have been the sell, the only play, but that was within the zone. Nothing closed outside of the zone. In fact, I had to go ahead and adjust it just a little bit and send it the next day. And this is what it was the next day. Let me go ahead and open this a little more. So you can tell it stayed in there. It stayed in there, stayed in there. And this is the poke that I said about. It poked up here when we had that other trend line going through there. And it dropped, and you could have gotten some pips there. But again, nothing broke outside of the zone. It consolidated for quite a while. I figured once it broke out of here, it could be a very violent move. Let's see what happened. This is the after on the 30th. And so sure enough, we had some pretty good moves. It dropped to the bottom only to hit the golden zone and go back up. Then it provided a nice little retest right there. It dropped for 26 pips, perhaps a 2-pip drawdown, depending on your position where you entered, but not bad. And then after it did all this jaggedness down here and broke to the top side, it gave us 71 pips. Now that's 71 pips from up here. There was no retest there. There was a break and a retest at the 50 moving average and at the trend line that could have been taken for the upside, but I don't think I had that trend line there. I don't think I had that trend line there during the setup. Let's see. No, I did not. I put that after the fact. Not after the breakout, but after watching it for a couple hours, I went and put that trend line there for my sake, and it broke to the top. 71 pips from the top zone. No retest on that one. And then the last one, because we had GBP week this week, this is what we got. And again, we have the trend line from the top. I did send it this way. I did send this trend line. I did send it just like this. In fact, this is the setup as we have it. I just wanted you guys to notice that it was reaching that very peak. It was going to have a hard time going to the top. However, I think it broke out for just a little bit, which I took. It poked its head just a little bit right here on this 19 pips. I think I got like 11 pips of that. And then it broke to the downside. And in fact, this break to the downside was violent. This is the one that we saw that was very powerful on GA also. I took this one on GA. I did not take this drop. I took this little move up here. But when I saw this dropping really hard, I looked at GBP AUD, and GBP AUD was at the bottom of the zone. So since it was at the bottom of the zone, and this could have bounced right here at this bottom zone, I went ahead and took the GA as it was breaking the zone, and it went violently. I mean, this dropped too, 77 pips, break, no retest. I mean, there's a hybrid retest, like I mentioned it there, hybrid retest. It's much clearer. The retest, the actual retest is much clearer on the 15-minute, but on the higher time frame, this is what we got. And then after it held here for a little bit, the 10 a.m. candle, was it a 10 a.m. candle? No, this is not 10 a.m. candle. What is this candle? 7 a.m. candle. 7-8 candle shot from the 200 moving average, shot up like crazy, retested, well, another hybrid retest, and gave 47 pips to the upside. Then it came back down, broke down again for 30 pips after this breakdown. And then this retest, this is the only retest we got on the 1st of October. That was a nice retest. It dropped for 35 pips. Let me go ahead and do a quick summary of the numbers because I don't have them here. So what we ended up with was 400 pips total on 4 setups, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades. That ends up to be 66 pips per trade. 5 of those 6 trades were no retest, which is usual for NFP week. And then 0 to 2 pips drawdown. Let me go ahead and let me see. Okay, let's go into the projections for the week. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's start with GBP NCD. GBP NCD, as we've been mentioned before, it had dropped down, right? Found support, bounced back up. I missed this move up to the upside before it touched the 50 moving average. That would have been about 700 pips to the upside. This is on the daily now, but now we're still waiting for it to climb, okay? There's no sense in buying when it's going to run into resistance. So we're waiting for it to climb the 50 to take it to the upside to the next zone, okay? Right now, it again rejected at the top, retested, dropped, dropped again, made a push to the upside, but this could be only to come back down to retest here before it goes back up. So again, the move here is to wait for it to close above the 50 moving average. And then this is on the daily, and then we can take it to the upside. That's the plan on that one. This is GBP Canada. GBP Canada, it's just fun and interesting that you get this pattern over and over, okay? Here we have it again right now for this coming week. That's the third, is this a 30-minute? That's a 30-minute. Okay, that's a 30-minute. I should have known to take notice of that. But in any event, this is the pattern that we have right now, and we see the pattern repeated over and over. This is what I mean by learning your pair. If you know this about GBP CAD, then you can just keep marking these up as they occur and taking advantage of them, whether they break to the top or to the bottom, you can take advantage of them. So that's what I see right now. This is the bigger picture. That's a bigger picture of GBP CAD. It had broken down below, but came back up, broken down below, went back up. So it's between these two areas right here. Perhaps this could be lowered all the way to down there because nothing has closed above that. All right. But what I wanted to point out was this pattern, and you'll see that pattern over and over in this pair. And perhaps you could take advantage of it knowing that it does that continuously, and you just wait for the breakout of that. Okay, so this looks like a pretty strong breakout when it does happen in either direction. It has more room to the bottom and the top. So I would love to see it drop down instead of going back up. On gold, this is what we pick up on gold. As you know, it's been going up and up and up. This is the weekly setup. It finally broke down below the structure. It broke down below the trend line. This was the previous week. And then on this week, it could not make it quite up there, okay? This pattern right there speaks to me of another drop. That's what I see coming. Seems to me like it's another drop coming. We shall see. On the daily, let's see what it looks like on the daily. Sure enough, I think it's just coming back up to retest this area. We shall see. The area will look something like this. Okay. Let's see, something like that is what it looks like. So I'm looking at resistance here, perhaps even strong resistance because on the daily it's below the 50 moving average. And so I'm anticipating this could be a break this week, a break of these lows over here. Okay, right? That's what that looks like. And GBP USD is wedging. Let me see. Yep, this is the bigger picture. Okay, this is the bigger picture. Going back all the way to 2014, this trend line been respected. It broke above it. Now it broke below it. Now it retested it again and it found resistance at it. Right there, found resistance at it. Is above the 200, but it's below the 50. This is on the daily. And then when you narrow down, when you come back down to a little even further down, you see a similar pattern as we saw on GBP CAD. This was very jagged. This is very, very jagged. Again, this is NFP week. Okay, guys, that's what happens. Look at all that jaggedness. That's NFP week right there. Not something that can be traded. I mean, this is NFP day. This is Friday, okay? So you can't trade that. That's not tradable, okay? Doesn't really work. And then as far as the pip count and the total counts and all that other stuff, there were 6 trades that we could have taken on the setup that I sent. 6 trades that we could have been taken. Only one of them retested. That's NFP week, all right? Just be aware of that going forward. When it comes to NFP week and you see a breakout, that's going to be the time to take it, most likely. Perhaps if you're a retest trader, you just don't trade all week, really, or you just wait and wait and wait and wait. But I'm just telling you that I've been watching this for the last 3 months or something like that, and NFP week hardly ever retest. Hardly ever retest. It's again, I mentioned this before in other weekly recaps, how it feels almost as if the traders are so anxious to get their pips real quick that buyers buy and get out, and sellers sell and get out, and they don't go back in. That's what it looks like on the NFP week. Okay, I hope you found this helpful and informative. God bless you.